share it, to invite your friends and then your not so friendly friends. Tell all of them that Mayegun today, and then sit back, relax, and let us talk. Brethren, dear Templars, it be like say this tax reform could actually be the catalyst that is going to break the center or not. The reactions of the political class in northern Nigeria seems to be pointing to one direction. They are about to go on a showdown with Kolu. There is no chance that they are going to win, but it is going to be very interesting how this is going to play out. Kolu is telling everyone that the Kolu's handlers, they are telling everyone who cares to listen that their tax reform is in the interest of everyone. So earlier today, I shared a recorded interview where Zulum from Borno outrightly condemned the reform and called on the northern lawmakers, House of Representatives, House of the Senate, to reject this, according to him, like this satanic bill. He said, their tax reform bill would only favor Lagos to start with. However, it is going to weaken the northern Nigeria, something that he believes would also destroy their children and their grandchildren. I am going to start from that this evening because the message has been taken. Now it's been taken to their mosques. According to some of those who attended the Jumat in northern part of Nigeria today, especially the Sharia North, their clerics are beginning to talk about it, preparing them for what is still to come. Let's start from that, and then we take it on and on and on to other reactions, including Ndume, who has issued a bit of a warning that it would likely be on his way out of APC. Zulum, ladies and gentlemen.
Mun yi tir da wannan dokan da aka kai a National Assembly. Zai kawo koma baya ma kasan arewa. Ba arewa kadai ba ma South East. Su ma za su samu problem da South South. South West din ma har da su Oyo, su Oshun, su Ikiti, Ondo duk za su samu problem.
Kuna ganin cewar kamar riba ce kawai ga Lagos.
Lagos. So don saboda aka mu a ganin mu haka. Su kuma suna gaya mana wai cewa wannan abin zai kawo koma baya ga Lagos. To mu muka ce inda haka ne ba ma so Lagos ya yi baya. Ya kamata a bar yadda muke yanzu. Wannan ba adawa ba ne. Wannan wani abu ne wanda mu a ganin mu cewa zai kashe arewa gaba daya. Don saboda haka mun kira kowa da kowa da shugaban kasa Bola Tinubu ya kamata ya zanna ya duba wannan abin. Don saboda arewa in ka zuba board nashi kashi 60 aka ba shi arewa. Idan yana jin magana wayansu mutane cewa fa mutane arewa ba sa son shi. A'a, in an yi mana abin da muke so shikenan. Mu abin da muke so yanzu maganan wannan tax wannan kar a yi.
Ku kuna tunani kamar ku gwamnonin arewa haka za ku kira sanatoci da 'yan majalisar wakilai na arewacin Najeriya ku zauna tare ku nuna musu cewar wannan abu ba za ku yarda da shi ba?
Za mu zanna tare kuma mun riga mun yi magana. Amma mu abin da muke so me yasa ana hanzari? Akwai petroleum bill wannan da aka kawo ya kai kamar shekara 20 yana National Assembly kafin aka zantar da shi. To wannan abin an kawo shi cikin kwana 5-6 sati daya ana so a tabbatar cewa an sa doka wannan. Mu kuma muna ce ai hankali a duba tabbatar cewa wannan abun ko mu ba ma nan yara mu za su amfana. Fitinan da muke ciki tukuna mu a ganin mu kuma wannan bildin ya wuce ko salari ba za mu ya mu biya ba. Ko an biya yanzu muna gani shekara daya zai zama masifa.
Wato kuna ganin kamar cewar wannan kudurin dokar za ta jawo yunwa da talauci da kuma baya a arewa?
Har da security zai kawo mana. Su kuma suna ce ba haka ba. Amma mu kuma muka ce tunda abin da mu muka ce ba maso. Lagos ya ce shi ma abin zai mai da shi baya. To inda haka ne me ya dame su? Su yi hakuri mana su bari National Assembly members na arewa House of Rep da na House of Assembly. Ba arewa kadai ba ma wato South East da kuma South South ko South West din ma akwai wanda ba sa so. Wannan abin bai nuna cewa muna adawa da gwamnati ba. Wannan abin rayin mu ne kuma zai mai da mu baya yadda muka gani. Kuma na kira duk mutanen House of Rep da Senator kar su tafiya su zana daram kuma kar kowa ya sayar da mu. A yi hankali kar kowa ya zai ce muku wai shugaban kasa ya faɗa haka ba haka ba ne. Wannan siyasa ne mun yi shi mun jafa mishi kuri'a ba mu ce wani abu ba amma aka dawo wannan abun wannan matsala na tax wannan muka ce wannan abun ba zai fidda mu ba. Kara karba wani abu.
Kana ganin cewar watakila idan aka ba 'yan majalisa watakila toshiyar baki za su iya yin abin da ba kwa tunani?
To abin da dai yake tafiya ana maganganu amma dai ba mu da tabbas amma ka san muna cikin Najeriya ne. Ni dai abin da nake fada kowa ya mai da hankali ga kasance. Akwai yaranka, akwai jikokinka, akwai 'yan uwanka da suna kauyenku da state naka a mai da hankali duk abin da in an sa hannu zai kawo koma baya ba ga arewa koma baya ga wani jiha mu ba za mu so ba kuma amma muna so mu sake jajjara ma shugaban kasa mutanen arewa sun same ka don saboda haka wannan abin da muna kukan nan ka duba shi ga idon rahama a tabbatar cewa duk abin da ana yi ba zai kawo.
70 years old man. Jesus is Lord. Jesus. Continue. 70 years old man. Jesus is Lord. Jesus.
That was the voice of Zulum from Borno, the guy that has been living off donations, charity, as well as free allocation from Abuja. Because by law, whether they contribute 0 or they contribute billion to the cover of Nigeria, they will still get to be paid billions every month. There's a part of this law that I haven't really shared with you. I bet you are possibly aware. When we're talking about the consumption tax, which is the VAT. In northern Nigeria, their own argument is that there are users, for example, the telecommunication. After telecommunication, which is like the MTN, Airtel, and all these, telecommunication mobile companies, right? The next sector that pays so much into the VAT cover is the alcohol section or sector. In northern Nigeria, these northern Sharia states, they are famous for destroying alcohol, but they have never rejected the money collected from alcohol. So you see, this Tinubu's bill is going to deny them access to some of this money, including the alcohol money. And according to Zulum, if this is allowed to stand, it is going to impoverish the North the more. So today, in states like Kano, Kaduna, Jigawa, Yobe, and even Borno, They had their clerics telling them about the danger of this tax reform. According to them, though, they said that Tinubu did not consult with them when he removed fuel subsidy, which has left them more vulnerable in Nigeria today than the rest of Nigeria. That the same Tinubu is now plotting to further impoverish the northern Nigeria by bringing a reform he called tax bill reform, which would further reduce whatever they are getting from Abuja, and it must be rejected. I don't know why this was being preached in their mosque, but it is kind of like spreading like wildfire. Last night, coming back to Zulum later, last night, Ndume, who is from Borno State, said the timing is wrong. That the timing that Tinubu is doing is reform on tax is the time when the northern Nigeria is facing serious economic crisis. And the people are very poor now. All the stories of if you are not earning up to 800,000, blah, 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 you are not affected. It's like giving them something by the right hand, with the right hand, and collecting it with the left hand. It was with Sheung. Let's put the whole thing together. This was from Ndume last night, a Borno senator.
Believes that the tax reforms bill proposed by the executive needs some adjustment to meet the yearnings of the average person. He's been having his say, but it doesn't look like he's had his way because those bills have passed the second reading on the floor of the Senate. Now, Senator Ndume has been speaking with us on the program tonight. Senator, I mean, if you are saying that this bill does not meet the yearnings of the average person, and let me some of the aspects of the bill which I have been able to identify, which could be interpreted as being a people-oriented bill. For example, if you are earning below or at about 800,000 naira, you pay 0%.
Yeah.
If you are earning 2.2 million and above, you pay about 15%. If you are earning above 50 million naira, you pay 25 million. Same thing with the categorization of businesses. Small businesses and medium businesses pay less, and the bigger businesses pay more. Do you don't think that structure or that arrangement is okay?
On the surface. On the surface. Unless you want us to go again into this argument of expertise and knowledge. You know, I don't know what degree you have. I read marketing. I had diploma and HND. I went to US to do the first degree in accounting and computer science education. I did my master's also. So I have a kind of knowledge. I taught accounting, cost accounting and all that. And as I told you, I acknowledge the brilliancy and look deep down. In summary, it's like giving somebody with the right hand and taking it with the left hand. And even maybe taking more. So let me take it one after the other. But they may have different opinion. When you say anybody earning 800,000 and below does not pay tax, VAT, on what? Do you exclude him from paying VAT from the goods that he will buy in the market? And then the corporate tax goes up, and now they transfer the cost or that taxes over to the consumer. So are you helping him? In fact, as of today, every consumer will tell you, or most of it is they are traders, middlemen. They will tell you that is the price of it. Like now, if the price that they buy from has gone up, like even today, the price of cement went up. And that means consumers will have to pay more. If you tax Dangote for his refined product, it means he will add that cost to the cost per liter. So if you say, okay, if you are earning 800, you will not pay tax. What of those so many people that are below that level. So that is one aspect. I have studied this thing. I gave the professionals, even the lecturers of those that are promoting it, those people that taught them. I approached some of them, and they said, look, this tax reform is good to do tax reform, not this one. Sit down and do it comprehensively and break it down. Why the hurry? That's a big suspicion. Why the hurry?
You think they're in a hurry?
They're in too much hurry.
The committee has been set up for over 6 months and have been working.
But the Senate, when did the Senate pass it? When did it come up? Was it not yesterday? And we pass it today?
So from your own end, from the Senate end, you think there is a hurry in it?
No.
And it's suspicious?
No, from the government end, there is a hurry in it. I told you about the PIB bill, which is as important. It took us 10 years.
This bill has been passed to the Senate since October the 3rd.
October, you said, is just how many months? We are talking about the bill that was there in the National Assembly, not even once. They changed it, they changed it. In the House of Rep, we said they should go and withdraw this thing. They withdrew it, PIB, and then they work on it. They even changed the name. And finally, we passed the document, yet it's not perfect. And it may call for amendment. Why the hurry? And as I said, why don't you prioritize the government, reform the government first? And the major problem that we have in this country is corruption. Fight corruption.
So you agree that there is a need for tax reforms?
Yes, but not now.
Not legal
now.
framework,
not now. Take
the
it
legal
down.
framework that we have is very old.
Yes.
And is probably not working to the optimal. I mean, it's not optimally giving us the desired goal.
Yes.
But in what area would you like, because you are a lawmaker.
You know what?
And you perhaps...
Wait a minute. Let me give it to you, Shegun. Don't come and lecture me here. Listen to me, because Nigerians want to listen. These guys, especially the Zaks in FIRS, is a very committed person. He should be commended for raising or maximizing the tax that he collected. And then the customs, they should also be commended for hitting $1 trillion. Is it 5 trillion or so?
The 5 trillion mark. They gave themselves a target of 5 trillion, but they surpassed it.
They surpassed it. These are the people that are supposed to be commended. Then you concentrate on blocking the loopholes, and then centralize. They say they will have 11, more than have 11 taxes. Yes. Why don't you harmonize those ones? Why don't you block the loopholes? Why don't you increase this one? Then gradually you come in to say, oh, let us even put this thing together in one place. You know, my fear is one of the biggest disadvantage is that they want to computerize and centralize the system, which is dangerous.
You don't want that?
Not I don't want that.
To harmonize.
Now, I know these things. That's why I told you I have computer application knowledge a bit. It's not the AI one.
You studied computer in 1990?
Yes, in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was analog person.
That's obsolete. That's your knowledge.
But you know what? It has never changed the concept of keys. Do you know what keys is?
Yeah, of course I do.
What is it?
I'm not supposed to be asking questions, Senator.
It's my turn to ask you. I'm a teacher. You don't know keys. Not the kiss you know that you kiss your girlfriend. Kiss means keep ideas simple and stupid.
Senator.
But in fairness, right, what some of them are not really saying is that Tinubu's idea of harmonizing taxes to make it one is so that he can pave way for himself, okay, to take his own cut. And how? When they do this harmonization to start with, again, I'm going to be repeating myself, okay? The idea behind taxation ordinarily is a very good idea, which means if people pay more taxes, governments can have money to execute their projects. That is a very fancy thing, right? Or an ideal thing. But what Ndume is saying, and the other thing is not saying, the first thing he is saying is that there is nothing like you are taxing some businesses higher and you are not taxing others, and it's a good thing for you. We are taxing some people who are earning this. We are not taxing those ones who are not earning this, which sounds good. Like, it will be like, well, at least they are not taxing me. They are taxing you because you are earning more money. But one thing is that none of you is spared from the taxation. Nobody is spared. In fact, if you are poor, you are taxed more than the rich. There is an impression that they are taxing this tax reform is going to tax the rich, whether you are a rich person or you are a rich company. So, but if you are not that rich, you are not making so much money, they won't really tax you. That is a lie. Do you understand? As long as you are a consumer, you will pay for whatever Tinubu is asking from the supposed rich. And here is the explanation. If they tax the big earners more, the rich are not going to pay it. They're going to put it on you. The only way you can tax the rich, that it won't affect the poor, is that when you tax personal income of the rich. What does that mean? Let's say if they tax MTN now, let's say they tax MTN 30%, although they are lying that they are going to tax them between 25 and 27%. Let's even say 25% of their money or of their profit. So all they have to do, if, for example, let's say MTN makes 1 trillion this year as profits, and they are going to take 25% of that, divide 1 trillion into 4. That means 250 billion naira from MTN. So rather than for MTN, while MTN projected profits of maybe 1 trillion, okay? And now that they are going to tax them 25%, so MTN will now be left with 750 billion naira. So that means they are short of their own projection for their own shareholders. So what do you think MTN would do? MTN would then make sure that what they will take from you will eventually end them. They will just add the 250 or maybe even add the 400 billion. Because last, they must make their 1 trillion. So what that means is that MTN will make sure that their profit is 1.5 trillion. So that if they want to take their 25% from it, MTN will still have maybe like 1.1 trillion. So to MTN, they are not losing. You will pay for it. Your text messages charges, your phone call charges will pay for it, not MTN. So even if you are somebody that is not earning 70,000 naira every month, right? As long as you have to load your card, load your phone, recharge your phone and all of that. So the charges on your calls, on your text messages, MTN will make sure that they are more expensive than when they don't have to pay much taxes. So it's coming back to you. It's the same as somebody who is, the businessmen who are importing stuff to Nigeria. So when the custom increases the tariff, for example, someone who is bringing their goods to Nigeria and custom is charging them 30% in tariff of what they are bringing. Let me explain that. That means, let's say I am spending $1 million to bring stuff to Nigeria that I want to come and sell. Now, if they impose 25%, which is $250,000 on my imports. So what I'm going to do is, instead of selling down my product to that, if I bring my products in and they charge me 10% of my worth of my import, which is $100,000. So I can come to the market and sell that stuff to you. Just an example. I can sell it to you in Naira, maybe 2,000 Naira per one. That if I sell all my units, I will still make my maybe 1.2, 1.3 million. So in that case, if the custom charged me 100,000, I may just have a profit of $200,000 at the end of the day. But if they insist that they have to charge me 25%, which is $250,000, I will pay. The only difference, the only way to get my money back will be you won't be able to buy my product for 2,000 naira. I may end up charging you 4,500 naira. Considering the exchange rates, considering the tariff they put on it. So instead of you paying 2,000 naira for that product, you end up paying 4,500 naira. As a businessman, I will make my money. I will pay them whatever they want to pay, what they are asking for. They can go ahead and celebrate how much money they are making in tariff, how much money they are generating. But now you they pay them. It's not that important. So if I manufacture my product inside Nigeria as a